Hey folks, long time no see. Figured I'd take the opportunity this evening to do a little bit of work on my hobby as opposed to doing other stuff around the house and outside, so on. And I've been getting a lot of hits on my remote control Jeep crawler project, which I haven't really worked on for the last year or so, but finally got things sorted out. I figured I'd take some time to start working on it. Show you what's going on. There's the Jeep. Haven't seen it in a little while. Sorry about the lighting. Trying to learn how to do all the lighting stuff. But figured what I'd do tonight is try to, nothing's mounted yet. You can see I just got propped up. But try to get the wheelbase sorted and see if I have the proper length links to actually set up the wheelbase. Body's a little high as well, but I don't like it. I don't want that jacked up look. I want it to sit down lower, just enough, just like the real four-wheel drives, where you want just enough clearance in the wheel wells in order to fit the tires you need, because lifting the body doesn't give you any more clearance. Just it's what's under the pumpkin on the axle that gives you the clearance. But yeah, I'm going to figure out where these links that I have need to be mounted, and hopefully I've got enough links to get it sorted out here. Let's see what I've got in the bin. I'm probably just going to stick with a 3-link, triangulated 3-link, or whatever you want to call it, set up. But I do have some of these green ones here as well, and a little bit of shorties, spacers and whatnot. But being that I don't live in the city anymore, it's a little more difficult for me to just go down to the local hobby store and get whatever I need. So I've got to plan a little bit in advance and either pick stuff up when I'm in the city or even order it online. So let's see if we can get this sorted out. Okay, hopefully I got this video camera set up so you can kind of see, and truck at a bit of Jeep at a bit of an angle, but trying to decide if I want to center these right in the wheel well like you normally would, or sometimes you see where they push them forward just a little bit and push these back just a little bit. Though pushing them back, I'd have to cut all this off to get clearance, but pushing forward wouldn't be so bad, just to gain a little bit of extra wheelbase. But well, anyway, I've kind of guess what I can do if I can keep it keep the chassis from moving. Once I got that sitting kind of where they need to be, looks not too bad there. Kind of hard to see the back side, but I can always make the links. The links will be adjustable enough that I can tweak it a little bit if I need to. Come on, stay where I'm just gonna have to prop up that tire with something first. It's in a groove in my work mat. It keeps wanting to roll back. That's better. We can get her lined up just right without it rolling. And I can hold the chassis and lift the body off. So there you have it. You can see the shocks hanging already. Links aren't quite mounted exactly the way they need to be on the axle, but they're still there. So I'm just curious if I can rotate this without moving it too much. See where it's going to line up. It actually looks like for the back, I'm going to either maybe put a stud in somehow right there and maybe use those holes for the back side. I think that'll work out pretty good. Okay, I've got the rear axle mounted now. I actually got the upper and lower links hooked up. It's not an ideal situation. Well, let me just turn these lights on over here and you can see a little bit better lighting in the garage. Hopefully it's a little better. You can see what I did here. I've got the upper links here and the lower ones tied in right there. Now I had to do a little bit of fancy, well, a little bit of Dremel work, but working on something like this, nothing ever bolts together the way you would expect. I don't know if you can see if she'll focus this camera. You see I can kind of ground it out there just to make sure that the link's cleared. And also ground it out. You can see there a little bit, just a little bit of clearance to get the nut on and off, but I think it's gonna work all right. Not ideal with these cap head screws. I don't like cap heads like that. I prefer the round ones, less chance of them catching, but then this is going to be a trail truck, so should be okay. Other option, or other thing I have to ask is, you can see the shock here, internal spring shock. Where do you guys think I should mount the shock? Should I mount it there, which is kind of like a factory location, which I think will be alright, assuming it gives me enough travel, or should I make a bracket and mount it there, like the old TLTs kind of had a little bracket that actually worked good. I'm probably going to mount them down there to see how she goes. Maybe I'll even do that tonight, but let's throw the body on. If I can do this while I'm holding the camera. Posts lined up in the front and see where she ends up. Sorry about the shaky camera, hard to do this and hold the camera at the same time, but looks like, take a step back, I'd say that's, besides the obviously gigantic ride height, I'd say that tire's exactly where it needs to go. Now I'm gonna see if I can do the same with the front. Maybe I'll get lucky with the links again, but I'm kinda doubting it, but who knows. We'll see what we get. Well, I got the front axle mounted now, so let's see if my luck runs out or if it lines up properly. Okay, you can see I got the lower links mounted, the bent ones. The thing doesn't want to sit quite straight because it's heavy in the front. I don't know if you can see a problem that I'm going to run into with my front engine setup compared to the back. I'll give you a second, see if you can spot the problem before I show you. But let's see. Now these posts are kind of set, and the ride height's kind of wonky. Let's just take this bin out of here and throw it on. Okay. Get the body centered. Lift her up a bit, and looks like, well, the axle's kind of rotated up. Let's try that again. See, the axle's rotated up quite a ways because I don't have an upper link holding it in place. And it's stuck, so let's get her like that again. Drop it on. Center the back of the body. And straighten these out and lift it up a bit. Maybe I can actually use the bin to lift the ass end up. Get a better idea. Sorry for the shaky video. I gotta get used to looking at the screen while I'm doing it. Now the ride height is a little out. And let's drop that in. Both sides. Back end is a little bit low still. Let's see if I can get that up a little higher yet. But you know what? Looks like it's just a little bit of a, I don't know, what do you think? I would think this needs to go forward just a hair. I'll lift this. Then if I get the rake kinda just right, maybe not. You can see, if you look there, I got a couple holes here which would push that axle line forward a hair, but that might push it forward just a bit too much, so maybe if it's not going to work out. It looks like it, yeah. The front has to go forward just a hair. Maybe I can even space it out with the the links themselves, just make the links a little bit longer, put a spacer in there, and then thread it back on just to push it. Even just like a couple 5mm ahead would be sufficient. But I think it's actually gonna work out all right. Now I'll show you the problem I was mentioning. This front motor mount, you know, she drops down really low. There's not going to be any way to put that. I don't think the upper 3-link or triangulated link is going to clear that setup. So, that's definitely not going to clear the setup, because you can see it goes right here. My ride height's probably going to be somewhere oh, come on, somewhere in that range, so there's no hope of clearing that link. So I think what I'll have to do is do like the actual factory does and put a well, I call it a panhard bar, but I know there's another name for it, that runs, oh come on, runs from one side of the axle across and up to the chassis to keep the axle from running back, from shifting side to side in the chassis. And I wanted it to be a scale crawler, and it's really going to end up being that way with the front end, so I'll have to see if I've got a link for that. And as well, I think I have decided shocks will go right here. So with these spring shocks, you can see it's, maybe once I get some weight on them, but I really like the looks of the shocks, but I don't know, it's going to raise the ride height a little too high. So maybe what I'll have to do is take the springs out and either go with a droop setup or go real, maybe try to make some coilovers or use some shocks that I have in there, though they're way too big. I really want to make these ones work, so I'll figure something out. But I think I'll shut it down for the night, and it's starting to cool off in the garage, and I don't want to stoke the wood stove up anymore, so I will probably be working on this again tomorrow night. I'll make sure and get some more video for you guys. Talk to you later.